Hi everyone, today we're talking about leading. First of all, if you just imagine what a conductor does when they bring you in, if you play in a band you'll know they do an upbeat and then a downbeat for the first beat of the bar. So the upbeat's always the 4 and then the 1, or the 3 and then the 1. So you do the same thing with your flute. You can use your flute to do your upbeat and then the downbeat. So if you're playing on the downbeat, you play with your downbeat and you do your upbeat. The trick is to think about the piece that you're about to play before you start. Think about its speed, that's the main thing. So if you find a little bit of the piece that you know really well, what speed that goes at, and then find your pulse. So let's say this is your pulse, you've worked out the speed, and you've got a downbeat to play at the first bar and you're the leader of the group, then you just go okay, so it's quite a clear down. It might feel unnatural because we sometimes feel like we want to go up for a downbeat, but we mustn't for that. You have to train yourself to click downwards. Sometimes you might have an upbeat yourself. So let's say we're still in the same speed and you have to play a G and then a D downbeat. So it would be, you could conduct 2 and 3 and then the 4 would be your upbeat. 2, 3. Okay, if that was a faster speed. If you are one of the other players, or in an orchestra if you are a second player, you mustn't lead. That's another thing that's really important. We need only one person to do that leading thing, and in an ensemble we decide who leads at any one point. It doesn't always have to be the same person, but at any one point in the music there should only be one person leading. And in an orchestra it's obviously the conductor's the one leading, but within each section, so in the winds or even just in the flutes, the first flute might want to lead the second flute. So the second flute should keep a sort of weather eye on the first flute as well as on the conductor. So if the first flute goes, then the second flute can come in exactly at the same moment as the first flute. And the first flute will be relating to the other principal players in the orchestra, like the first oboe and the first clarinet and bassoon, and to the conductor. So when you're playing chamber music, you need to really have your eyes very sort of, not just in your music, you need to be keeping a weather eye on all the other players really. That makes for a really great ensemble. What can make it more complicated is if you have a quaver upbeat, but the beats are crotchets. So the rhythm would be 1, 2, 3, da, dum. And that does often happen. So here you need to do your upbeat with your flute, but play the quaver in between. So it's like this. 1, 2, 3. So you're kind of playing halfway through moving. It's a little bit, takes a bit of practice, but it's really worth it. And then if the music is very fast, like let's say it's 1 in a bar, which we talk about a lot. So say you're in 3 time, but it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You're effectively just doing one downbeat, and a conductor would go down, down, down. Then you apply the same principles, but you might be doing a crotchet upbeat. Okay, and that just is really clear to the other players.